Welcome back. We are talking about Mielle Hair Care and whether the rumors are just simply mass hysteria or fact. Now, the CEO, Monique Rodriguez, did come out what was, I guess, what many people thought or expected to be a response to the claims of hair loss, balding, damaged hair, and or other issues, so on and so forth. But the response was not that. So I did jot down a few things that I saw in the video that some I kind of think, it's a business, from a business standpoint, what can she say? And then on the other side of it, it's part of it. Every hair care product, or every product in general is not going to work for everyone or be for everyone. So that is that piece. Now, this particular one of the claim for the product is to be the Rosemary Mint and Scalp and Hair Oil. So the Rosemary Mint, Scalp, and Hair Oil. This particular product I have actually never tried. I've seen the product. I looked into the product a few times. And when I did go check it out, I smelled the product and I simply didn't like the scent. And for that reason, I decided to pass on it. It was just that simple. Nothing more, nothing less, no rumors, or I didn't know anybody who had tried it either. It was nothing that I just didn't like the scent. I didn't see that being something I would like, of course, being in my hair, just being with me continually, and decided to pass on it. But I did tap into a few other products, and I will share those with you later on. In general here, and that's why I said I'm going to glance at in my notes, just across the board for hair straightening products, dyes, relaxers, perms, can contain chemicals that have the potential to increase cancer. So we've seen this more specifically with the more of the relaxers, perms, situation here. No matter who the brand was, no matter if you did it at home or if you went to the salon and got it done, there have been claims of users who have used those products who later on came back and said that they, have cancer or had links or otherwise used those products or felt it was an immediate link to cancer. So that is that piece. That's not specific to Mielle. That's just things that have come out through studies. So there are a variety of studies that have come out there. Now, when it came down to Mielle, a lot of the reports of what I'm seeing, especially you guys on social, you guys are savage for real, man. I mean, was the claim of whether or not it was FDA approved. Now, in the process of going through being FDA approved, basically what that means is when you're going through, companies go through and their ingredients in their products have to be, so to speak, FDA approved, right? But each brand is doing something different, and a combination that one brand comes up and puts together may work well for some people, and a combination that another brand does, it just doesn't, right? The difference of it is whether it's a few people who have saying that they're having the concern or whatever the concern may be versus people in the masses. And that's where it's kind of taking a turn here, so to speak. Now, if you remember, when the Rosemary Mint Oil originally came out, it was out for a little bit. And it was, of course, geared, as, Ms. Rodriguez had explained at the beginning, to be for textured hair. And it seemed to come out, and, there were a lot of users who did not necessarily have textured hair, but felt that they, tried the product and had great results. And it took off like wildfire. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody loved it. Everybody was using it. Everybody wanted to tap into it. And it was a beautiful thing. But we do have this sense of cancel culture, and it seems to tap into now it's going in the inverse. So potential possibilities, and I jotted these things down. And one thing that users felt, one thing that just customers or clients felt in seeing the CEO's video was that she was reviewing or reading her notes. Listen, by the time you go through everything, you sit down, there may be certain points that you want to hit. Just like now, I have a few notes here that I want to jot down. No, I'm not the CEO. No, I'm not involved in her company. No, I have nothing to do with it. But the piece to it is, there are often times that when you get down, you sit down, and you just don't remember everything you wanted to discuss or review. So that is that. I did not see, from seeing the video, I did watch it a few times, I did not see anything strange about her taking notes or doing that or reading, reading, her thoughts basically on what she had put down. I think it was more certain things she wanted to address, obviously certain things she didn't want to address and didn't just talk about or discuss at all. And that was that. At the end of the day, she said what she said. And you either accept that, you continue to rock with the brand, or you don't, and you move in a different direction. So that's my 2 cents on that piece. Now, for here, potential possibilities as it pertains to this situation. One, third party has done something different to the product. Now, we've seen this here before where the brand or the company is doing something, you know, working their product, working their brand, and then they decide that, hey, we're going to work with a third party to do X. Whether the X is packaging, whether the X is making the product, building the product, whether the X is, you know, formulation, whatever the X is that they're tapping into with a third party or another entity, things can kind of go wrong. Now, first thing off the top, when I say, hey, if it is a third party deal, was the Jaclyn Hill lipsticky. Everybody's seen that. That was everywhere, right? And I'm sure a lot of you even purchased from that. A lot of us purchased from that launch or purchased from other launches that Jaclyn Hill did have. And what did the claim end up being? The claim from Jaclyn ended up being that through cleaning out the vats with the lipstick butters, where they go, they mix the butters with the formulation, cleaning out the vats to go from different batches and also to go from different colors. They did not use a lint-free product. So basically they wanted to say what looked to be like hairs and other little fuzzies in the lipsticks ended up being, you know, just a non-lint-free wipe, clean out kind of ordeal. With that being said, the beads, the mold, the little sharp thing, I don't know about that. She didn't tap into that. But the rest of it, that was the claim. So in this situation, to take it for face value, if that was the situation in a circumstance, hey, I'm Lanisha Kier. You're watching Kier's Looks Like, where I cover everything beauty, luxury, lifestyle, and everything in between. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're notified when I have a future upload. What would an owner know about that? You know, aside from this is the product and the result and what resulted, not necessarily what led up to it. Now, for the Mielle situation, if something were to have been altered or changed, I think it would be something more similarly aligned to what happened with Nikkie Tutorials and Too Faced. So some of y'all who have been out there for a minute following in the beauty community and following and supporting a lot of these brands, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. And this launch happened many years ago. And in short, Nikkie Tutorials, a fellow YouTuber here, had a collab with Too Faced beauty brand, cosmetics brand, who was to, I want to say there was palettes, and then there was some eyeshadow stuff, basically like face product. And in there, she got it, product's about to launch, she goes in, she does her swatches and everything. Everything's creamy buttery, it's a beautiful day. Product launches, customers get it, and it's crap, right? That was the biggest thing. The eyeshadows were blending out, they were dry, they were patchy, it was nothing like the video from the launch, you know, it was differently displayed, so on and so forth, and it was a complete train wreck. Now, from Nikkie Tutorial's standpoint, the product that she had, the formulation that they had discussed with the ingredient list, so on and so forth, it was her understanding that that is, of course, what was going to be used to mass produce the product. What she found out later on, when she got her hands on other palettes that like consumer purchase palettes in later batches, was that the company, Too Faced, apparently changed or altered the formulation in order to, quote, make it cheaper, in return hiking the profit, and change the formula and kind of put it in the same packaging. So different formulation, product, same packaging, and distributed it out. The problem of it was it looked like she was in on it. So in the Mielle situation or circumstance, if something were to have happened, and you know, the CEO is not saying that, she did not mention that in the video, she's not insinuated that in any way, shape, or form. In fact, she's saying the formula is quite similarly situated to what it was many years ago. So that is something to consider. But if it were to happen, I think it would be something more along the lines of the Nikkie Tutorial Too Faced deal. 4 things as a beauty advisor I would say you should consider. 1, you don't know what people are doing with their hair. So when I seen the whole bit about Mielle, and I said, oh, it's just a few outlets saying what they're saying, and as it continued to spread, I was like, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what people are doing with their hair. So I have had a variety of clients come in, they'll say, hey, I'm looking for products to do X, XYZ, whether it's, you know, help with damage, bald spots, or blonde. I'm a blonde and I want to make sure it stays ultra blonde. I want products for that. So those are probably the most common ones. And, you know, and speaking with clients, you'll hear these like one-off things from time to time that kind of have you like, right? So one example I'll say is client comes in, hey, you know, I'm a blonde, You know, I want the ultra blonde to be able to stay blonde after I do, you know, the dye. Cool. So we discuss a variety of products. Nice. Next, in communication, it comes up, in conversation, it comes up that, oh, well, every 2 to 3 weeks I dye my hair. But I don't understand why it's thinning and falling out. It's unbelievable. It has to be the new shampoo I tried. Girl. Now, anybody can do whatever it is they want to do with their hair, with their stuff. That's their business. But at the end of the day, if every, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks or 2 weeks in general, you're processing or doing anything like that with your hair, you want to know why it's falling out. How can you blame a product from any brand? This isn't specific to Mayale. That's across the board, right? So one of the things she kind of wanted to blame, you know, a different product, not even a Mayale product, a different product from a different brand where she in fact had something going on. So keep in mind when you see some of these reviews, you don't know the whole story. You don't know all of what they're doing with their hair, what they're doing, you know, in their regimen. So to say that it was specifically just Mayale, I don't know. I'm not here to say it was or it wasn't, but keep that in mind. Now, number 2 is going to be a mix and match deal. And that's why I tap into a few of these products that I have here. In the mix and match deal, that could be for consumers who have used, let's say, Mayale's Rosemary oil, and then maybe they use their conditioner, right? And then you have other customers who use maybe the shampoo, and then they use the hair mask. And you've got other people that just used maybe a conditioner, and then everything else that they use for the hair was a whole other brand. Right? So that's the mix and match. That's where you're using certain products from one brand, and then you're using other products from another brand, then you're using other products, right? So let's say most people will tap into getting a shampoo and conditioner from the same brand. I do find that as a beauty advisor, most people will do that. But the rest of the stuff is usually is a different brand. So if they got the hair gel going, that's a different brand. If they got the mousse or foam whole spray, that's a different brand. If they got a mask, that's a different brand. If they got a hair oil, that's a different brand. Problem with the mix and match situation is if you in fact do have an issue where your hair is falling out, bald and patch, or combination thereof, you don't know what product did it because you had a mix and match situation. Now, you can make the same argument and say if you do it, if all the products you use were from Mayale and then it ended up falling out too, it could be the shampoo and not the mask. It could be the hair oil and not the shampoo. So you could make that argument too, but you have a better leg to stand on if you were to file suit or do something later on down the line that in fact all the products were from the same brand. I can't tell you, even in the reports and reviews that I've seen, everybody's talking about I use this product and this product, or I only use this product. So what was the rest of the products that you was putting in your hair? Where's that stuff at? Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about that. It was just this product here by this company did it. So it's something to keep in mind, especially if you do decide to file. That's something that's going to come up. It has to come up. It's going to come up at some point in time. 3 is purchasing from a reseller such as Amazon. Now, I use Amazon as an example because that's probably the biggest reseller and everybody's familiar with it. Everybody has access to it. Now, but there are others. Now, in purchasing, or even like Etsy, for example, right? So in purchasing from a reseller, I have seen this as a beauty advisor or just in customer service in general. Basically, you'll have folks that will come in, product will go on sale. Let's say the Ninja Blender, an example. That's a very, very popular product. So reseller will come in, they'll say, hey, I'll take 40 of them. Why? Because they know they've got coupons, they know they're going to be able to get sales, and it's going to be a good deal. So instead of paying $120 for the, basic entry-level Ninja Blender, they're going to end up paying maybe $60 for it, $50 or $60 by the time coupons and everything is all situated. They go out with their 40 blenders, then they decide to go on Amazon or Etsy or another, third-party reseller, and then they put it up there for maybe $100, right? So $100 or maybe even $115, and then holidays, other things come up. The company Ninja decides to hike their price maybe to $130 because they know people are going to buy it anyway. They've got theirs for $110, $115. Most people are going to purchase it from them. That's the reseller part. Now, for most people, I will say they tend to be honest, right? They tend to be honest because at the end of the day, Amazon, Etsy, and some of those other places, you leave reviews. You go, you say, hey, it was a great product. It was bomb. You want to leave 5 stars. You want to leave a review. You want other people to continue to purchase with them and sell. In other situations, if it's a crummy product, if you got there and you found out, hey, I got my blender and it was used, or hey, I got my blender and it only worked for a month, you're going to leave those reviews too. So it behooves the reseller for reputation purposes to do the right thing. However, we do have some bad actors who go in and maybe change certain products, parts, and or pieces. From what I have seen as an advisor, the biggest thing that gets swapped out is fragrance. Fragrance, and even a lot of customers, clients have come in and they've said, hey, I ordered something online and I'm familiar with this brand or this fragrance. I've worn it for years and I'm sure it was toilet water. I don't know why it has to be toilet water. I don't know why it can't just be water. Why can't it be bottled water? Why can't it be tap water? I don't know why it has to be toilet water, but it's always that the claim is that it's toilet water, right? Otherwise saying that it wasn't originally, wasn't the original, packaging or originally from the brand. Something was done or altered to it in some way, shape, or form. So in that instance, a situation or circumstance, if you purchased it from a third party, which Mayale products there, and let's say something else happened to it along the way, we don't know, in some way, shape, or form, and then you purchase that product, something ends up happening, your hair is itching, your hair is doing, doing whatever it ends up being, doing, and you've used the product before and it wasn't doing that. That could be something else in another, way, shape, or form that, maybe the brand or company is not necessarily aware. And the last thing to consider would be to file your lawsuit. Now, here's the skinny. Nobody is saying don't file, don't, nobody is saying to do or not to do. What I am saying is if in fact you use a product for a number of years, or even if you used it once, if you use several products within the Mielle lineup and you straight went bald, I'm seeing folks saying they straight went bald from using the product. One, why did you keep using the product? Because they didn't say they stopped using the product because of it. They kept using the product. Now they've continued to use the product, so maybe they started thinning and clumps were coming out, but they continue to use the product. Now they're bald. But they're on social media, they're on these other platforms talking about how they're bald instead of filing the suit. Get on social media, go file your suit. You're going to have to continue. You're going to have to explain why you continue to use the product after your hair was coming out. Clumps, that's a different thing. But go file. It doesn't make sense. And I would say the same thing for myself. If I use the product and I wake up straight bald tomorrow, I'll be talking to somebody about it. That's the business of it. Something about that is just a little off. So if for whatever reason you have used any of the products and you choose not to file or didn't file, definitely hit me in the comment section. I want to know why. I have to know why. Because that's one thing I just can't understand. I can't fathom. So couple products that I have used here from the brand, and this is Mielle. One is the leave-in conditioner. This is the pomegranate and honey. This scent smells heavenly. And that's actually one of the reasons I picked it up. They do, of course, have to have the traditional shampoo conditioner with the pump and everything, but I think this is cool, especially for travel. I did have some recent travel, and I have some other travel coming up, so I think that would be a cool deal. And the other thing here is they call it Maximum Hold Gel Styler in the same scent, pomegranate and honey. It comes in this huge jar. This is a 16 ounce. And again, legit, the reason I said, hey, let me pick it up and try, and this was obviously earlier this year. This was, I don't know, a couple months ago. I said, hey, let me get it tried out. It was simply the smell. It was something different. And I said, let's go for it. Definitely let me know down in the comment section below what you thought of the review that the CEO gave. Do you think she tapped in on the issues? Do you think she kind of glanced over the issues? Do you foresee continuing to buy with Mielle? If you are a current customer of Mielle, what are your thoughts? Or do you straight think it's one of the things that I mentioned of possibilities that could be a reason as to why people have issues, one of those 4 things? Or is it straight mass hysteria? Let me know your comments in the comment section below. I will be down there as well. I have to know what you guys are thinking, and I will see you on the next one.